friend Carla New here with us. And when you hear this story, I just know that when you go through the rest of your day, you are going to have a pep in your step like you have never had before, just free and ready to show up as your authentic self. So Carla recently had a post that had over 300,000 views on LinkedIn. And we're going to go through the whole case study of exactly how this happened for you today. So first of all, Carla, can you just say hi to our amazing community that's here to connect with you and just learn more?
Absolutely. Hello, Molly. Thank you so much for having me on this afternoon.
Oh, so good. This morning we're here, wherever it is that you're watching. It's going to be perfect. I know. I'm actually so grateful that you were able to get up and do this with us during a Saturday. I know oftentimes you do your live videos in the evening. It's one of the things I also love about you is I know I can always like chat and connect in the later hours online too, which I'm grateful for. And I know I've told you this so many times, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows, no pressure. But if you go to Carla's personal Facebook profile and you follow her there, I am telling you, she is the funniest and also most brilliant, like heart-centered human on the internet, hands down. I say all the time that I think that you should have a coffee table book just of your social media posts. And I hope that after this video, that will actually happen. Do you think it could happen?
It could happen. I have all of the content on Facebook. I just probably need to pull it down and get it published. Thank you for that compliment. I hold that dear.
It's so true. So we have people who are joining us. We're streaming in 5 different places right now, which I've actually never done. So I'm grateful for you for letting me experiment with this. So if you're watching this right now, whether you're watching live or in the replay, if you could let me know below, let Carla and I know in the chat where you are watching this. I see that we have Nika. Oh my gosh. And we were actually just talking about you because Nika a couple days ago she went to sleep one night and woke up the next morning with 1 million extra views on her YouTube channel. What? And it's actually
amazing.
I hadn't really put it together, but it's something that is a similar kind of story about showing up authentically exactly as who you are. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to have you here today, because the whole journey of this LinkedIn awesomeness has just been so cool to be a part of and to watch and to see happen and to see how you've showed up like as your real self. And it's been such an awesome inspiration for other people too. So if you're interested in finding out how this magic happened, you're going to want to stick around because it's going to be so good. Carla, do you think we should do a nugget giveaway today?
I think that would be perfect.
Okay. So I am going to give away a selfie light. So we give away selfie lights here. And you know what else I'd love to do? Actually, I would love to give away a piece of jewelry too. Is that okay? And I would love, and the prepared performer, like I'd love us to buy it from you and order it and send it out. Carla gave me the sweetest necklace recently, which I just want to share. I'm wearing it today and it's a little bee and it says be kind. I don't know if you can see it, but kindness is something that I know Carla and I hold dear together in our values. And I know if you're here watching this video, you most likely do as well. So I've got my little be kind video or my little kind necklace on. I'm grateful. So what kind of jewelry could we give away?
Well, I am all about our empowerment pieces. We have beautiful pieces that have empowering words, and it's actually my favorite collection.
Okay.
So I would love to gift something from our empowerment collection.
Okay.
And because I don't like to tell people stories for them, I would love for the winner to select what it is that is dear to their heart.
Oh my gosh, so awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do, we'll do this nugget giveaway and I will pick winners by the end of the video. We'll go back and pick winners, and all you have to do to enter is, as we're sharing these strategies, as Carla really walks us through this awesome journey of how she had this post go crazy viral on LinkedIn, really by showing up as her authentic self and putting herself out there bravely into the world. While we're going through this, any nuggets that come up for you, give us the hashtag nugget below this video and then share what it was that you learned. So any little insights that come up, put them in the chat. At the end, we'll go back and we'll pick a couple of winners. And then whoever it is that wins the piece of empowerment jewelry, Carla and I will get together. We'll send you a link and you can actually choose which piece you'd want. Does that work? It's like, yeah. Oh no, I think we're frozen. I have never seen someone freeze in a more beautiful position though. You were like frozen.
Oh. Well, you were frozen too. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, It's all good. Molly, this would only happen to us, but we're just going to own it.
We're just going to keep rocking it. So
yeah,
so good.
Before you continue, I love giving back and I love paying it forward. So the winner of today's jewelry nugget is going to be able to gift something special to another person because I love paying it forward. I get the chills every time I think about it.
I just got them too.
So I just wanted to share that little tidbit as well.
Okay, so we're doing 3 giveaways today, which we didn't even talk about before, but this just shows you how awesome Carla is because I just throw in the giveaways on the spot and look what happens. Oh my gosh, so much goodness. It's so good. Okay, and we have, I just want to shout out, we've got Stephanie. Stephanie, one of our amazing members of the Glam Fam, just like Nika, who's also a member of the Glam Fam. So good. We've got Joel joining on Facebook. Hey, Joel, glad that you're here. Lisa is in Savannah, Georgia, which is awesome.
Hi, Lisa.
Tanya's on Facebook. So good, from Seattle. And this is so funny because I was actually asking, what device are you watching? Like, what platform are you on? But I love knowing where you actually are in the real world as well. Tamar, do you know Tamar? I love her. She's a member of the Camp Fam.
No.
Oh my gosh, so excited. She's amazing. Her videos make us so happy. This is all so good. So I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so Carla and I met, oh my gosh, when did you join Camera Confidence?
I joined Camera Confidence, I believe it was summer of 19. I think it was June of 19 is when I joined.
Okay, man, I feel like I've known you forever, which that was a long time ago, I guess.
Yeah.
So Carla joined in summer of 2019. And as I said, just, you know, having her as a member of our community and us being connected personally on Facebook as well. Carla, I love the way that you share like the real stuff. There is no, there's not much of a filter, which I very much appreciate. And you're so great at sharing the things that a lot of people are thinking, but aren't maybe brave enough to put out there.
Absolutely. I used to have a filter and I just don't have one anymore. And most of the time it serves me well. Sometimes it gets me in trouble, but I just speak my mind.
You totally do. And it's always from a place of love. And I so appreciate it. So recently, when was this that the LinkedIn thing started?
March 26th, 2021.
Okay, March 26th of 2021. I did a post on Facebook because LinkedIn has been a struggle for me. And we're going to get into part of the reason why LinkedIn has been such a struggle for me. For the most part, I really love to show up on social media in a way that is fun and kind of goofy and just kind of, you know, not much of a filter as well. And whenever I try to do that on LinkedIn, I always feel like it just falls flat and that I'm getting so many spammy messages. It's just energetically, it's been very difficult for me. And I know there's got to be a way to unlock it, which Carla apparently figured out. So I posted on LinkedIn and I said, does anybody have any tips on LinkedIn? So do you want to take us like on this journey of what happened from that?
Absolutely. So first of all, I adore Molly Mahoney. She is fantastic. So if you are not following her, be sure to follow her. She's under the Prepared Performer and she's amazing. So Molly, she loves testing out gadgets and technology. And so when I see a post and she's doing something or asking a question, I love her learning all the things. So I saw her post about LinkedIn probably about 4 hours after she posted it. And there were maybe about 26 comments. And people are saying, oh, connect with this person, connect with that person. And I happened to see a comment by a lady named Nancy. Hi, Nancy, if you're watching.
Nancy, if you're here, we love you, Nancy. Thank you for coming.
Yes, and she said, oh, you need to connect with my friend. And I think it's Darlene or Diane. And she posted a link. And because I'm nosy and I love taking in all the things, I clicked the link and then led me to a YouTube video. And this is how just all over the place I am. I was watching one of Molly's trainings and listening to this YouTube video at the same time. And I was taking in some goodness from the LinkedIn video. And she was just talking about things to do to optimize your profile. Now, I was an early adopter on LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn since, gosh, probably maybe a year after it started. And I've been on there. I rarely post. I didn't realize that people were posting on a feed or anything like that. I spend most of my time in messages, like Molly said. I get a lot of connection requests and a lot of people looking to sell me software or social media tools, things like that. So I spend most of my time in the inbox. And the training was talking about optimizing your profile. And I took a look at my profile and I was like, who is that person on the profile? Because back then I straightened my hair. I uploaded the previous picture in probably summer of 2015.
So let me show can I show that picture? Would that be okay?
Please.
Okay, so this is the picture that Carla had as her profile picture, which one thing that was crazy to me about this, because I wasn't really connected with you on LinkedIn. So I know you on Facebook. And I know you from, videos or posts or things that you've done in Camera Confidence or Sales Star, like other times that we've actually been on calls together. So I didn't know you looking this way either. Like I don't think I'd ever seen you with your hair straightened. So this is the picture that she had.
Exactly. So a lot of people that know me know the Carla knew with straight hair. I straightened my hair from maybe age 4 until 44 when I decided to stop straightening my hair.
Yeah.
Or I should say chemically relaxing my hair.
Okay.
So in this picture there, my hair was not chemically relaxed. It was straightened with hot tools, which is not the most healthy for your hair.
Yeah.
But because—
And I'm sure also time consuming.
Yes, absolutely. 3 hours it takes to do that. So that was a picture I had, and I had it everywhere. It was all over my website. It was on my Facebook. It was on my LinkedIn. And I had not taken the plunge to change my LinkedIn profile. Now, I had changed Facebook back in the summer I met you, Molly.
Okay.
I did a photo shoot with a wonderful local photographer. And it was definitely a journey to do a professional photo shoot with my natural hair. For those that do not know, Black women have this journey with our hair. Our hair, the way it grows from our scalp, sometimes causes controversy. So people call our hair kinky and nappy and unkempt and unprofessional. And so I was born in 1970, and I grew up during the time where most people were straightening their hair, and you were pretty much taught that you needed to look professional and presentable. And the only way to kind of get ahead was to mirror like Caucasian straightened hair. And so I grew up with that mindset. And so it took me years and years and years to even stop getting chemical relaxers. And before any event, I was always getting my hair done and making sure it was crisp and pristine and straightened. And I actually laugh because looking at that picture was taken right before a national conference. And I remember it was in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
And if you've ever been to Phoenix, it is hot. And I remember I was, I'm a leader in my direct sales company. I was asked to speak and do some training classes. And I remember scheduling a hair appointment in Phoenix right after the last training class so that I could hurry up, go get my hair re-straightened to run back to the hotel to get dressed for our gala. And when I look at that picture, and that picture was taken earlier in the day, it was a professional photo shoot. They give headshots of leaders. And it just brings back memories of me not having a chemical relaxer and literally running from the convention center to a hair salon and on a tight timeline, and then trying to make it back in, I think it was 117 degrees that day.
Gosh.
Trying to make it back to the hotel without my hair frizzing up on me. So it's just really funny that I was on that journey back then, right? And that was my picture forever. I thought it looked great because I was just taught to straighten my hair.
And I think it's also like, I'm just grateful for you sharing all of this, first of all, as you know, I'm so grateful for you in general. But since you were 4 years old, you straightened your hair.
So growing up, I've always had hair like this. And it's funny that it's a Saturday. I have a twin sister and an older sister. And every Saturday, we would literally spend the entire day getting our hair done. And because there were 3 of us, we would fight over who got to go first. Because the person that got to start first got to finish first, and you had all day to play, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up in an all Caucasian neighborhood. So my friends would come to the door, say at 9 o'clock, can Carla come out to play? And I would say, no, I'm getting my hair done. And they would come back in 15 minutes. Now, can you come out to play? No, I'm still getting my hair done. And sometimes, depending on what order I was, they would come back 3 hours later or 6 hours later. I would say, no, I'm still getting my hair done. And they just did not understand. Finally, if you were last to go, because I never wanted to go outside until I was totally done. I was last to go. It might be 7, 8, or 9 o'clock at night when I'm going out. And I might only have 5 minutes to play because you had to come in before the street lights came on. But that was just kind of what went on. And my mom would literally spend her whole day doing 3 girls' hair. So Saturday was a wash, no pun intended, right? It was a watch. And then we would go to church the next day. Then you spent the entire week trying to make sure you didn't get your hair wet so that it did not shrivel up and frizz up and all that stuff. So I spent from birth to 12 living that life.
Yeah.
And then when I turned 12, I could finally get a chemical relaxer. And then we were able to manage our own hair, and it's just a little different process. But from 12 until 41, I was getting chemical relaxers and straightening my hair and doing all that stuff. And even after I stopped getting the chemical relaxers, I was still using heat to straighten my hair on a weekly basis.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's things that people who don't have that experience don't always think about or realize. I mean, and I think I will say for a lot of women, you know, when it comes to your banquet or your gala or whatever it is, right? You may go get a blowout or whatever, you know, there's things that people may do, but just
absolutely
the thing that was ingrained in you that it was really not acceptable any other way, I think is a big thing.
Absolutely. And I lived my whole life like that. So let's get back to the LinkedIn. So, you know, LinkedIn is a professional platform. So I used it for corporate America. I am a corporate employee. And so I used it for that profile to interview for jobs and things like that. And for a while, I didn't even have a picture at all, because let's face it, you know, America has had its issues with discrimination, things like that. And I have a name that people don't necessarily know what my race is by my name. My name is Carla New. And the way I speak doesn't always give a clue either. So I opted to leave my photo off of LinkedIn for a while. I think it was probably 2015 when I did put that picture up, right? So I put the picture up in 2015 with my straight hair that I thought was looking great, and I never touched it. I mean, it's 2021 and I still had the same picture. And so I did this photo shoot back in 2019. It was a big step for me to do it with this hair, because I was always taught, you go get your hair done before anything special. You go get your hair straightened before photo shoots, before any event, before pageants, before proms, you know, standing on national stage, all that stuff. That was a big step for me to do that. And I made a Facebook post about it, and I changed my Facebook profile in the summer of 19. And then when I saw Molly's post and I watched that YouTube video and I looked at my own my own LinkedIn profile, and it's like, who is that person? That's not me anymore. And I thought, okay, you need to change your profile picture. But then I was afraid to do it. And I was like, why are you afraid? I was like, you already have a job. Like, why are you afraid to do this? And I went through all these emotions. And I said, you know what? Just do it. If something bad happens, like, I don't even know what bad was going to happen. But I think, again, this is ingrained in our brains, because there is a law passed in numerous states around the country called the Crown Act. That's against the law to discriminate against Black people for wearing their hair the way it grows from our heads. It's called the Crown Act. And yes, there are people who have been fired, who have not been hired, who've not been promoted, who've been expelled from school for wearing the hair like I wear my hair now, or dreadlocks or braids or whatever. It's actually written in dress code.
I remember my friend Brandon doing a video last year that was so impactful for me, which is something I hadn't even thought of, with him wearing a do-rag and saying that, like, if he doesn't wear that when he sleeps, or if he doesn't wear it certain ways, that there's things that'll happen with his hair that, like, you wouldn't even think of. And he did this video where he started with no shirt on, and then he put on, like, he like changed, and he was like, now what do you know, how do I look to you now? And he was like, but what you don't realize is this is not about, like, you know, any sort of thing. It's really just about protecting my hair, which I think you know, people who don't know. So
exactly. And to your point, the do-rag is to keep our hair from tangling up, because our hair is kinky and coily. While you sleep, you know, we rub our head against the pillow, and the friction will cause our hair to knot up and break off and do all sorts of things like that. So that's why you see Black males wearing do-rags, and you see Black females wearing like turbans or bonnets. That's what that's all about. And it is written in dress codes that those are not acceptable. It's written in dress codes that braids aren't acceptable, cornrows, you know, things like that. And so that's just kind of what I grew up, that mindset. And so I had this uncomfortable feeling right before I decided to change my profile picture. But I thought, you know what? If something quote unquote bad happens, you can just delete the post and go back, right? So I changed my picture. And because I have been authentic pretty much since I joined Facebook back in 2008. Even though Facebook and LinkedIn are different, I made a post on Facebook like, hey, I updated my LinkedIn profile. And about maybe 200 people interacted with that post, commented, whatever. I wasn't looking for interaction. I just was telling people what I did. Then I thought, I wonder what would happen if I said something about it on LinkedIn. People don't say, oh, I changed there's no notification on LinkedIn that says, Carla New changed her profile picture at, 20 minutes ago. I said, I'm just going to make a post about this, letting people know what I did and why. And so probably about 4:00 on a Friday, I made a post saying, I did a thing today. I changed my profile picture on LinkedIn. And I would not have done this, before. I would have never done this. I would have never changed my LinkedIn profile. I'd have never gone on a job interview with this hair. I would have never started a first day of a job with this new hair. I would have never taken the picture of like a work ID, like the name badges, your work ID. I would have never done that. I would have never even interviewed for an internal promotion with this natural hair, because there is a certain connotation that our society has on our natural hair. And so I did it. And because I don't really use LinkedIn outside of my inbox, I posted and I just walked away.
This is my other favorite part of the story, is that you really were just like, whatever. And you put the post up.
Yeah. And so back then, I did not even have the app on my phone. I literally would go to the website, right?
Yeah.
So I had the LinkedIn website up while I'm sending out my weekly status report at work. And I heard some notifications, didn't really think much of it. I think I looked right before logging off and I had maybe 13 reactions. It was like, whatever. I set my phone down. I come back to my phone probably at 8:00 that night and it had 89 reactions. And because I'm not really on LinkedIn, I was like, what's going on here? Okay, well, let's fast forward to the next morning, Saturday morning. I woke up, had an email from LinkedIn that said, we've noticed a lot of activity on your profile. There's a lot of connection requests. Let us help you prioritize the connection requests. And I thought, did I get hacked? Then I thought, oh no. The post probably is making people angry. Like, oh no, let me go check it out. And I went to it.
Is that really what your first thought was there?
That was my first thought because, people react whenever somebody Black talks about being their authentic self. There's two reactions: a positive reaction and people are supportive and they learn, or there's negative reaction. And that was my first thought. Oh no, something bad happened, right? And so I looked at it and my profile had exploded. There were I started messaging Molly, by the way, that morning. And at the time, I think there was probably maybe 1,200 reactions.
Right, let's just show it. Let's show this
views.
Is like a recent screenshot of it, and then we'll go back through. But check this out. What is actually happening?
Yeah, so it says 344,144 views, 15,945 reactions, and over 1,500 comments. So probably at the time, I think I had maybe 100 comments and maybe 300 reactions. And I was like, okay, so I tried to interact with all the comments. I couldn't even get to all of them. And I had all these connection requests. And then I didn't realize people used LinkedIn on Saturday. So I went ahead and downloaded the app because my phone, every time I would get on LinkedIn on my phone, it would fuss at me and tell me, download the app for optimization. Thank you, Cassandra.
I love Cassandra.
So I downloaded it and my phone was literally jumping off the couch all day long. I could not keep up. It was before I knew it, it was 20,000 reactions 20,000 views. And then 40,000. It just kept growing. And I'm messaging Molly every hour, oh my gosh, what is even happening here? And I kid you not, I probably had about 200 requests to connect. And I didn't even know what to do with them all. And they were people just really wanting to authentically connect. I saw your post. Oh my gosh, I'm so inspired by it. I had messages from people, other Black females, oh my gosh, welcome to the club. I did that too. Or you inspired me. My picture's old as well. I changed mine today. It was Black women. It was Black men, maybe with dreads. And what I loved, it was also Caucasian women. Like, you know what? My hair's curly too. And I have the same thing going on. People always want me to straighten my hair. And you inspired me to stop straightening my hair. I had an Asian woman, a beautiful Asian woman who is older. She's gray and curly. And she said, Carla, you inspired me to do mine. I feel like I'm living a lie. I do Zoom videos all day. And I have straight dark hair. And I'm on the Zoom videos in my curly gray hair. And she posted a before and after picture and tagged me in it. And just all these people. And I'm talking people around the world, people from Germany and Africa and the UK. And I met beautiful people all on this Saturday. And I'm seriously emailing, like messaging Molly by the 30 minutes.
I was like freaking out.
80,000 views. And it was just going and going and going. And I met so many beautiful humans, and people are literally in my inbox like, thank you for that. You inspired me. Or congratulations. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. Then I thought, wow, this is just a movement. And what I also learned is that there were a lot of Caucasians that did not realize that this was a thing. Most of the comments out of having 1,500 comments, there were only 2 negative comments. Ironic, but actually there were 3. 2 were by the same person, and he didn't understand it. He thought why I would bother to take the time to tell people I did that. And he said, what's going to be next? Nudist people are going to be posting about being naked on LinkedIn. And I didn't know what to do with it. I thought, oh no, here we go. This is going to be really bad. The community tried to educate him. I educated him. I told him about the Crown Act. Other people did. Some people were negative. I didn't like the negativity, so I was trying to keep it positive. But he actually came back 2 hours later and said, you know what? I'm realizing I'm the only one who was having an issue with this. I didn't realize it. Thank you for educating me. Now, he did get a little weird in additional comments, but you know what? I thought it was beautiful for him to publicly admit that. Yeah. Then another person just said, I don't see what the big deal is. I've never not hired someone because of their hair. And I'm like, well, you're just one person. Like, I know for sure that I can't tell if I have not been hired because of my hair. Maybe I haven't, but I also wasn't wearing my hair that way. But I know people who have been asked to change their hair. Hey, you can't wear dreads here. Hey, you can't wear your hair in braids. Hey, it's in our dress code that your hair has to be a certain way. Even our US military had guidelines with dress codes. Like, our hair, the way we wear it naturally from our head, should not be part of a dress code, but it is. And so, and so it was just a beautiful thing. And like, what I learned is being authentic on LinkedIn was huge. It almost created a movement.
It did create a movement, not almost. It did create a movement.
Yes, exactly. And what I didn't know is like LinkedIn has a profile, and LinkedIn commented.
Yeah. Look at this. Okay. Can we like talk about this craziness?
LinkedIn commented on, took them about a week, but they commented on the post, and it said, your profile is only complete if it's completely you. Love this, Carla. Thanks for sharing. And like, I saw in the notifications, LinkedIn commented on your profile. And I was like, what? I was like, no. And I went to it, and I blew Molly's messages up for like a month.
I loved every second of it.
Look at this. I was like, I had no idea that LinkedIn commented, but ironically, a LinkedIn coach commented on I love that Molly is like moved to tears, because this truly is a beautiful thing. But I had several people. One is a college professor, and she happens to be a LinkedIn coach. And she commented right away, like, hey, this is beautiful. And she said, would you mind if I saved your photo? I want to share it with my students and the people I coach as an example of the perfect LinkedIn photo. And she came back a couple of days later and told me she did it. And she's like, the students loved it. It really resonated with them. And I just thought it was beautiful. Now, I had profile views from probably 1,200 LinkedIn employees, 1,500 Amazon employees, like Microsoft, all these great companies. And like, I did not post to gain followers on LinkedIn. I did not post to gain a single connection. I didn't even think anyone would interact with my profile, but I have met the most beautiful people from all over the world. I was on a podcast. I have been asked to collaborate with people as far away as Germany. Just beautiful things. People have given me updates. Like, it took me a month, but I changed my hair. I no longer straightened my hair, and I updated my profile picture. Like, to me, that's beautiful that they don't know me. I don't know them, but they're like sharing that with me, bringing me along on their journey with them. And I just think it is the most inspiring thing, and it's so beautiful. And it's helped me with my confidence. Like, people think I'm the most confident human ever because I am out there with stuff, but I have struggled with insecurity. I have struggled with being able to be my authentic self, obviously, by not wearing my hair the way it grows from my head. And so to allow people to blossom in those moments like that, and for them to feel comfortable and let me know that I inspired them, it's just such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And it's something as simple as hair, something as simple and complex as hair, because my hair is complex, right? Let's face it, Black hair is complex.
This is so awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm so grateful for you. And there's so much underneath this that I think is needed as well. Like, look at the thousands and thousands and thousands of humans who needed the permission just to be able to be themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. And I guess I never connected males struggling with the same thing. I had a lot of males say, yeah, I have to keep my hair cut low. Otherwise, I don't feel like I'm professional. Or before I started a job, I did not think that they would appreciate my dreads. And so I know a lot of Black people will identify with this. You get the job, and then once you're there, you take a lay of the, check out the lay of the land and say, okay, I can be comfortable wearing my hair here like that. So you get the job with the interview with your straight hair. And then once you're there, then you change it. And that's really sad that we as a community felt as if we could not show up authentically, and felt as if we had to change who we were to be gainfully employed or to even feel comfortable.
Which, what if, as you've just showed us, what if the narrative could actually be flipped, where the way to really get the most amazing opportunities, the most amazing job, the most amazing career, the most amazing clients, whatever it is that you're looking to achieve in life, what if the way to do that is actually to truly honor who you actually are and to show up that way?
Absolutely. Yeah, you were right. And I've noticed a huge shift in my personal business when I started being authentic. Like, I'm not really a makeup person. I don't wear makeup, and that's fine. I could never sell makeup, because if I attempted to put makeup on, I would feel like I was living a lie. And like, passion, right? I have the utmost respect for people that sell makeup, but that's not me, right? And so I'm 100% authentic. No nails, natural hair, natural skin. It's just who I
can't believe you were born in 1970. Can we go back to that moment for just a minute? Because you are so beautiful. And not that, not that should stop, that would make you more beautiful, I think, as we get older. And I just would never guess that was when you were born.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I was born in November of 1970. I turned 50 last year. So this year will be the 51. And I have embraced my natural self. And like, I've never been one to try to force myself to do something outside of straightening my hair forever. But I don't like to force myself to do things to fit in, because then I'm uncomfortable and it just doesn't work. So showing up,
you have to keep pretending that you're that person that you're not, which is what then you're running across Arizona in 117 degrees heat to try and keep up the persona. Oh my God.
And it takes so much time and negative energy. Like, I never realized how much energy I was spending worried about my hair, right? Now now I go outside, if it's raining, I don't care if my hair gets wet, because it'll dry and be the same. Whereas before, I was running for the hills, trying to get an umbrella, trying to protect my hair. And I don't have that. I don't have that weight anymore, which is nice.
It's like, it's so many layers, so many layers. I want to see some of the nuggets. We've got so many nuggets here, which is so awesome.
I love it.
And then what I would love to do next is I would love to see if we can share some tips that I just think you're such an amazing leader in your company. And I know that you do so much for the people who are in your community, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever, to help them to show up more powerfully. And so I'd love if we could just give a couple of little like solid action steps. If someone is thinking like, I don't even know what the real me is, or maybe they don't have something that's as easy to identify as the fact that they've been straightening their hair. What is the way to kind of figure out what that is? And then how do we show up in a way that we can love ourselves more as well?
Absolutely. So I'm so glad you asked. So I will take you on my own personal journey. So I have a twin sister, and I really didn't have to do a lot of talking growing up because she would a lot of times do talking for me, right? And so I moved away to college and had to sort of learn to exist without my twin. Thank you, Nancy. And so I have the gift of gab. I've always had the gift of gab, but in certain situations, I wouldn't say things. And so I have kind of come out of my shell. And rather than trying to look up to people, I have learned to look within, like be my own superhero and like have that positivity, empowerment come from within, because I really don't think that people can motivate another person. They can inspire someone to be motivated, but you can't motivate another person. So I look within to motivate myself. And then when you exude that, when you show up and you appear confident, it just inspires other people to do the same. Yeah. And Molly talked about me being authentic. Like, I am the hot mess express. I don't really hold anything back. So if something kind of goes wrong in my life, I bring people along for the journey. I tell them about it. You know what? I'm not this perfect person. It does not matter that I've reached the top of my career plan. I have parties where people don't show up. I have parties where I forget to bring things. I was doing a Facebook Live once and my ring light fell on my head, hit me on the head right in the middle of the live. And you know what? I was like, okay, you guys, the post I'm always posting about, you guys just got to see that. And because people see me being comfortable with my being awkward and uncomfortable, that gives them permission to do the same.
Yes. Okay. Let's like really talk about that, because, I think it's with the way that you share your posts on social, I think there's some nuances to it that people may not fully catch. So I'm excited to talk about this a little more with you too, because you don't share things like, oh my gosh, this week I dropped my coffee and it spilt all over and it's horrible and I've had an awful week. Like, whatever it is, you're not posting about it in a way where you're complaining or you're, diving more into the negativity of it. You really are sharing things in a way that's lighthearted. Like you said, it's taking people along on the journey, and it's never self-deprecating. It's never like anything about like a pity party kind of thing. It's really from a place of like, okay, well, this happened. So, and it's something we really stand for here also in our quest to stand for joy. It's if we can find the possibilities and the problems, like when I got that email recently from a man who must be struggling about how angry he was about my whatever, like typo. I was hurt by it. And I was like, but you know what? This is going to inspire people. So I was like, I love when things happen now, because I know that I can share it in a way that's like, okay, friends, this is what happens. And we're all human. So
exactly. So I have this is why Molly says I need a coffee table book. Because for years, people were like, oh gosh, that would only happen to Carla New. So I started this little series on my profile that's called A Day in the Life of Carla P. New. And I try to make it like a series. So I take like the day of the year and like my birth year. So I'll say, season 50 episode and whatever the, the day is, like day 189. And I will like recap what happened, because, before social media and before like smartphones and things like that, people are like, I don't believe you. I think people thought I was a habitual liar because things like unbelievable things happen to me. But now I can take pictures or I can go live and I can recap it right in the moment. And so I have just learned, I've had some adversity in my life, but I've learned to get through it through humor. Laughter is the best medicine. 100%. And so I have a way of telling stories in a humorous way, in kind of a matter-of-fact way. And I think that is what resonates with people. And so I will tell.
I'm just pulling up your profile right now, so I'm actually going to share it.
Sure.
I mean, I did not plan this. I'm just pulling it up
No,
right
you're
now.
fine.
And I think for those people who are like, but I'm not funny, you are. If you just recognize like life is funny, no matter what's happened, like life is just funny. And if you can share the journey. So this is like the type of thing. So I'm going to solo mode this. Hopefully,
no, you're fine.
Let us know if you can still hear us if you're watching this.
Yeah, we can hear you.
What is this?
It's this pointless meeting survivor. You know, I work in corporate America, and like we're on a ton of live videos all day. And so I found that. I think Facebook gets my humor, so it showed me that. It's a,
is it a real thing?
It's a real thing. It's a pin. I almost bought it for $5 or $7.
Oh my gosh. So funny.
Yeah,
okay, is this an example that would work? Can I show teenagers?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm a mom of 2 teenagers. Okay, and so my son comes downstairs at 11:55 a.m. Mom, I really need to go shopping ASAP. None of my pants fit. I'm going to be walking around in floods if I don't get pants today. So I said, okay, I can take you between calls. My next call is at noon, and then I have another one at 3. Teen says, okay, cool. At 12:48 p.m. Okay, my noon call is over. Let's go. Now? Yeah, now. Because my next call is at 3 and I need to take you between calls. I don't want to go out right now. Can't we just go another day? So, his emergency was all of a sudden not an emergency. So yeah, those are just typical things. And so as a teen parent, I know other teen parents are going through the same thing. So I just share it. Right.
And it's as simple as this little story. When you have a moment, and I always love to say, like, when you have a moment that makes you go, or that makes you go, or that makes you go, like some sort of emotional reaction, whatever it is, chances are other people are having that same sort of experience as well.
Exactly.
We were on a training with Les Brown on Thursday, and his daughter Ona told this story about this peach cobbler that was so delicious. And there was a little bit left in the peach cobbler, and that he was going to speak at an event, and he really wanted to have that last piece of peach cobbler, but he knew he couldn't have it because if he ate before he spoke, his stomach wouldn't be, he'd be not on his best game. So he took the peach cobbler, he put it in a bowl, and he covered it with saran wrap. Then he put things on top of it so that people wouldn't actually see the peach cobbler was in the bowl. And he put it in a cabinet above the microwave or something and hid it behind a can. Okay, so he hid this peach cobbler. Then Ona said that she came, and then he went to his speaking engagement, not at the house. Ona comes in and she saw the empty bowl of peach cobbler on the counter. And she said, for some reason, she just knew that her dad, Les Brown, had taken this peach cobbler and hidden it somewhere. And so she goes out onto they had a deck in their backyard. And she said she went out onto the deck and she sat there and she said, Lord, I need your help in this moment. I really want that peach cobbler. And I really want you to tell me where that peach cobbler is. And she said she got really quiet and she listened. And somehow this divine download happened where she knew the peach cobbler had to be in the cabinet. And she went back into the house. She opens the cabinet and sees that there's this weird soup can or something kind of out of place. And she moved it, saw the bowl of the peach cobbler and took it out. So she said she saw it and she was like, Dad. And she ate the entire thing of peach cobbler. Oh my gosh. Okay. Then she took a bunch of grapes, put them in the bowl and covered the bowl back up with saran wrap and put it back in the cabinet. And moved a soup in front of it and closed the cabinet and then just waited for her dad to get home. So her dad gets home and he's in the kitchen and she said she got her camera ready. He walks into the kitchen and he's like, I bet you're wondering what happened to that peach cobbler, right? Because the empty thing was still there. And she said, I really was wondering what happened to that peach cobbler. He goes, well, I gotcha. And he opens the cabinet and he's all excited to eat this peach cobbler and he takes it down. And as soon as he looks in the middle of it, he realizes that it's grapes, right? And he goes, and screams really loud. And she goes, click, and just got that picture of his face, right? So a little moment like that, a little story like you with your son, these little moments, things that happen in our day, I am never going to see peach cobbler, peach crumble, whatever it is, without thinking of that story. When my
You're
son gets
right.
to the point where his pants are too short, which is like every other day, I feel like, I'm going to think back on that moment, that story with you. So it's so
Exactly.
powerful.
Thank you. And you're right, because they'll scroll my wall and find a post I made a month before, like, hey, thought of you. This reminded me of the story you told. And
Yes.
so you really don't know that people are paying attention to you being your authentic self. They do pay attention. Like, I don't do a lot of like salesy stuff on my wall, but people connect with you. And then no matter what else you're doing, they will want to follow along and like be there with the journey with you.
Yes. So do you have a place where you like collect stories?
So, definitely a fly by the seat of my pants type person. I started the whole day of a life thing. You would think I would hashtag it, but I don't. But what I did, Facebook has these collections, right? And so what I do is I save the post in my collections. And so Molly, if you want to go to my profile and pull up my collection, I've got a day in the life collection. And as they come up in my memory,
if I'm looking at your profile?
I think so. I think you can.
Let's see, because I know I can show it on mine, but that would be like
Yeah.
you teaching me something here, which I'm so excited about.
Or if you just do a search for a day in the life of Carla P. New, I'm sure some things will come up. But what I do is like save them down in collections. And as I'm either writing the post for the day, or as I am, as my memories come up, I will save them down in the collection, and people can see stuff from like, a while ago, and they comment on things. And like, oh my gosh, like I'll share a memory or whatever that happened in like 2013. And people just think, oh, wow. So she really has had these odd things happen over time. I wonder how you can, oh yes, a day, the search will definitely pull it up.
Okay.
It's a day in the life of Carla P. New.
Okay.
So yeah, these are the series. So I've been journaling this stuff for years on Facebook, and they go back.
Oh my gosh, you know what I'm realizing though?
What's
you
that?
have this set so that only your friends can see it.
Oh, okay. I will change it, and I will make those public so you guys can see it. Because they're fun.
Like,
I mean,
there's season 45, episode 96. If anyone abstract art, if anyone wants to know why my eye twitches, it's due to incidents like this. This happened in 2015. Thanks, Facebook memories. I found red, blue.
Yeah. So this one,
it.
my husband, we have a non-traditional family. My husband has been a stay-at-home dad probably since 2007, 2008. Okay.
Okay. I love it.
As he was learning to do all the things, he just allowed our kids to kind of do what they wanted during the day. So I come home one day, and he washed some clothes. I think he picked up clothes off the floor and picked up crayons with them. So there was a load of laundry, and God love him for doing the laundry, but there was a load of laundry that included crayons. There were sheets, towels, some of my clothes in there. There were red, blue, and green crayons, along with double bubble gum in the dryer. Okay. And they were decorated like these pictures.
And a paper towel.
So yeah, that's my favorite is paper towel. Somebody tried to clean up probably some of the crayon from the dryer with paper towel. And, I think it was relatively new to him staying home. And I used to get all bent out of shape. And then I just realized, you have to go with the flow. Like clothes can be replaced and sheets and towels can be replaced. But I did have some eye twitching moments. And so
wait, look at this. One of the people over the age of 40 who lives in this house discovered the melted crayons 2 loads ago and kept washing and drying.
Yeah, he just kept washing. Didn't really connect that, maybe it's going to get all over the clothes. But even if I am mad or upset, I try to find it like coming from a place of humor and that connects with people. And so I posted this. It happened back in
2015.
I don't know when that happened. Yeah, back in 2013. But guess what? I post it now because I have a lot of friends with kids with toddlers. And you know what? It's going to be okay. I mean, we've had some crazy stuff happen in this house.
Yeah.
And we live to tell about it. My kids are now 18 and 15, right? So I save all my memories and all the funny things that happen because you're not going to remember, right? You're just not going to remember.
Yeah.
But it's just such a beautiful thing to be able to go back and look at things that happen. Sometimes it's a beautiful thing. Sometimes it's a funny thing. sometimes it's sad, but I definitely have been chronicling the day in the life.
Well, and I think for those people who don't know where to find this on your Facebook, if you just go to regular, like the Facebook timeline on the left-hand side, there's this saved option here. If you don't see it there, you have to hit see more and it'll be down in the bottom here. But if you click on saved, that's where you can find all of your collections.
Exactly.
And you can make them
public. Thanks for the prompt. I'll make that collection public.
Yeah.
And I'll also make all the posts public so that you guys can see that, because it's some comical stuff.
And then that way you can actually share the collection as well. Oh, I clicked on the post, not the collection. Oops. But you can actually share the collection as well. So like I have this case studies and examples. That's a lovely cover photo. But you can actually save these. And sometimes when I save things to a collection, they'll take off, like just because I've saved it. Like this one, which is about like old headshots kind of theme, had got reaction on that one. So, just saving it there makes it easy for me to find it. I have my own private ones too that I keep in here, which is it's a thing that people don't always realize is actually on Facebook, which I love.
I have a Molly Mahoney collection.
What'd you say?
I have a Molly Mahoney collection.
Oh
I see
my
like amazing things you do. Yeah, I do. Because you're just.
I could have a Carla New collection just so if I'm like feeling down, I can go laugh at something. Now I'm just going to go search a day in the life on your profile.
Well, thank you. And I do that because, like I said, I've had a lot of adversity in my life, and laughter is the best medicine. It's free, right? And so I've turned catastrophe into comedy, and I don't necessarily set out to be funny. I just retell the story, kind of how it happened, and that resonates with people.
Yeah.
So, and I'm the same way all the time. It doesn't matter where I am. I try to be the same way all over the place, whether you are doing a Facebook party with me or a home party or just hanging out with me somewhere in public. I'm the same way all the time. And it actually takes less energy to be your authentic self because you're not like acting and like trying to be somebody that you're not. And I feel most comfortable when I'm that way.
Like it can take energy at first to figure out how to get to that place. Like if you look at the moment where you almost posted the photo, there was maybe some inner stuff about how you're going to do it. So you've got to push through that. But once you do that, it's so much easier on the other side.
Exactly. When you realize nothing bad happens, like I cannot think of a single time that I have been authentic and something bad happened.
Yeah.
Usually if someone has something negative to say, they either have some insecurities themselves or they just don't understand me.
Yeah. And
I will find a way to make humor out of that. And I understand that humor is definitely not a trait that everyone has. It's like, I guess, a coping mechanism that I use. But typically when I am authentic, and whether it be something funny that happened in my house or I have anxiety and ADHD, and I'm very transparent about that, being 100% transparent and authentic about that resonates with so many people. I've had other people tell me, oh my gosh, thank you for like being out there with that. I had a friend from college tell me, thank you so much for your constant post about ADHD. I've got a daughter with ADHD. And like you sharing your stories helps me to understand her and like helps me to like stop and just pause and think, okay, her brain works a little bit differently. I need to pay attention to kind of how I'm showing up with her. And like, I used to be embarrassed about it. There's literally nothing to be embarrassed about. Like own yourself, like own who you are, own your skin, own your hair. If you have a mental health diagnosis, it's okay. I am very open with the fact that I have anxiety, ADHD, and PTSD. It's what makes me. 5 years ago, I would be embarrassed to say that, but you know what? These are the things that have made me me, and it's who I am, and I'm happy to be transparent about it because if it helps somebody else along their journey, I'm all here for it.
I love it so much. I'm so grateful for you. I have one very specific question that I should have asked you before we did this. Sure. Do you have a free Facebook group?
I do have a free Facebook group.
What is it?
Well, so I have my Origami Owl VIP Facebook group, and it's Facebook groups and Carla New.
Okay, here's an idea I'm going to share something which I kind of have talked to you about, but I obviously have not shared publicly because it's about us. Okay. But back when we first of all, if you're watching this video right now and you have been inspired by Carla's story and you would appreciate a community that Carla leads on how to show up as your authentic self, how to be more brave, how to be more confident, how to maybe be more funny. Like there are so many things I think that you can help us to be able to learn and how we can do this. And so if that's something that you would love, just say yes below. And I think that Carla, like I know we've talked about stuff like this, and I know a couple, maybe even a year ago-ish, at some point we talked about you launching like consulting or coaching, and you're so brilliant with your organization and the stuff that you're doing in your corporate job. And we've talked about maybe offering some sort of like system stuff. And we talked about this piece of you helping empower people to be who they are and to show up authentically. And I need to apologize because I said something to you that is like so against everything that I stand for. And it's really like this whole journey has proven to me how important this is and how important this type of stuff is. I was in a place during that call where I was like, I don't know if people are going to pay for something like that. Like and it's something that I know that we do. It's such a huge piece of what we do at the Prepared Performer. And I think I was downplaying how important that is for us as well as a part of what we're offering in our services. And it was, I don't know if I've ever experienced something like this where I've admitted this before, so I'm going to admit it, but I think it was my own like limiting beliefs creeping up as well, which I don't struggle with when it comes to calls like this that I have. But I think there was something in there that I was nervous that like maybe this isn't something that could really take off. And I wanted to find something that would be like easily monetizable right away, you know? And you've totally proved me wrong. So I just want to say that I think whatever you can do to lean more into this, because I think that you're so amazing and you're so powerful and you're so brilliant at helping people to recognize the value in who they really are. So,
well, thank you. Yeah. And I appreciate that. And, you know, I have been on this like empowerment journey for a while, and I'm the type, like, I love to inspire people. And of course, it would be great to monetize something, right? But even if I can just inspire someone to be a better them, whether they're in business or not, just to be a better them, I would love to do that, to inspire people to be their authentic self and to be a better you, to be your own superhero. Yes, we can take strength from other people and be inspired by other people. But if it comes from within, it is so powerful. I have felt myself on this emerging journey, and it really ties back to my hair. Like once I became comfortable with my natural hair, it was like 1,000 pounds being lifted from my shoulders. And that has sort of exuded into other areas of my life that I didn't even know was possible.
Yeah.
But I would love to be able to inspire people and bring them along that journey with me.
I would like you to say, I would love to continue to be able to inspire people, because you already are. Yeah, and I think that it could be, I mean, I would sign up for a community like that in a heartbeat, of, you know, a community where you are inspiring people to really figure out what those things are and navigate it and have a safe place to be able to share where they may not be brave enough to share on their personal profile. To be able to share in a community like that. So if you're like interested in launching a group like that, I think that would be something that people would appreciate.
Well, you have just inspired me to do so. I will create a group today.
Yes,
and for those of you who are interested, you know what? Nothing is organized, but that's okay. Like I am very transparent with, like I said, I specialize in being a hot mess. Come on into the group. We will build a wonderful community together. I like to say that I'm raw and real. So you guys will get the real deal. And you will learn how to just lean into being your authentic self. Even if it's sloppy and uncomfortable at first, you will be so comfortable by the end, just being your authentic self.
I love it. And I think really there's no end. It's like on the journey, right? Like you're going to keep getting, we always have this next level of like how we can be more.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah. I love it so much. Okay. So once you do that, I'm going to send another email out today to our whole community about this video again, and then I'll include whatever the group is so that everybody can hear about it. Because I know I should have asked you that earlier, but
that's okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's tap into some of these nuggets here. Do you have a second? I know we're right at the hour. Can we?
Of course. Yes, okay. I have time.
So Erica Sanchez, who's another member of the Cam fam. I love you, Erica.
Hi,
Such
Erica.
good stuff. She says that would be great. Oh my gosh. And inspires someone to be a better you. She says, Bernie, a member of the Glam fam, of Mr. Bernie Burns, who's so amazing. Also, he says, love this. Cassandra says, yes, so true. The power of self-discovery. Oh my gosh, so many nuggets. Tamar says,
fabulous hair, by the way. I love your hair. I was going to say, Cassandra.
If we're going to like really talk, and I feel like I call out Cassandra's hair maybe too much because I'm so obsessed with it. Cassandra, like, let's just really, I'm going to find hair. Okay.
Phenomenal.
This hair.
Yeah, that's hair goals.
Hair goals.
Hair
goals. Absolute max.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh my gosh. I love it so much. Another brilliant person to follow who puts out amazing videos as well. And there's been other posts that have been here too that are a little longer for me to bring up comments. So like this, Anna says, I love this so much. And Molly's compassionate tears. Thank you. Thank you for this powerful nugget. Honoring our true selves is the bravest, most loving thing we will ever do, as Brene Brown says, thereby changing the world. So good. And to come back to Nika's nugget. So Nika, you guys have to connect. Do you know Nika? Have you guys connected?
I do not know Nika. Hi, Nika.
Okay. So Nika is a member of the Glam fam, and she had a very monumental, powerful journey last year with cancer. And so she started showing up in her videos with no hair and did all of these videos with her showing, I mean, and they're again, leaning into humor. You guys need to do a show together because she crazy went, I've got goosebumps everywhere. She crazy went viral on TikTok, just showing up as herself as she went through this experience is what I meant, but I'm sure there was some experimenting in it as well, but really just showing up as herself and sharing the journey and finding the humor in it as well. And so I was saying earlier, you know, she had this, all of a sudden we went through the numbers on a call on Friday, which was yesterday, a million extra views on one of her shorts on YouTube, which is like amazing. Cuckoo. And just showing up consistently as who you are, which is another huge piece of what you do, Carla. It's so awesome. Okay, she says, there's so many things here. Okay, we're going to come back to these nuggets. Can we do something? Can we pick our nugget winners now?
Yes, I would love that.
Okay, I'm just gonna scroll, and then you tell me when to stop. The first one that we're gonna do the selfie light first.
Okay.
Then we're gonna do
selfie lights are fantastic, by the way.
So fun. I love them. Okay, ready?
Yes. Okay, stop.
Let's get to the one. Oh my gosh, it is Erica Sanchez.
Erica, congratulations.
She says that would be great, which is the one I showed about your group. So that's so awesome. So Erica, email us at molly@thepreparedperformer.com and you have a selfie light coming to you, which is so fun for all your videos in the dark. Okay, we're going to scroll again to pick the person who's going to win the empowerment piece of jewelry plus the chance to choose another piece to be able to send to a friend, which is so awesome.
You can pay it forward to a friend.
Yes. I'm going.
Stop.
Get out of town. I'm going to cry. Tamar! It is Tamar.
Congratulations.
Oh my gosh. Tamar has such a crazy journey with her Facebook. Her account got hacked and all of her videos were lost. And it's like, Tamar and I spent about an hour trying to figure out how the heck to get it all back. She has so many videos that she's done over the years where she shows up and just like speaks empowerment into your soul. So
I love it.
A perfect thing for Tamar. And Tamar, we're so glad that you're back here on Facebook, my dear friend. And if Tamar's not actually here with us, right? Oh, she is. She's right here. Tamar, you're our winner of the jewelry.
Congratulations, Tamar. I cannot wait for you to select your piece and pay it forward to someone else.
So good. All right. As we wrap this up and you head back to your beautiful family on this Saturday, any last little nuggets you want to leave us with? Where can we find you? All of that.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be on your show today. This has been great. Thank you all for showing up today and listening to this journey. It's really nice to connect with all of you. I just want to leave you with the nugget to be your authentic self. And if you're not comfortable doing it, join my community. We will figure it out together, but you have it within you. And I just want you to know that.
So good and so true. I'm so grateful for you. Oh my gosh. I'm going to send out an email later today. So make sure you check your email. If we're not connected, just make sure you say, you said yes already for Carla to reach out and connect with you. And Carla, I'll get you all of the places that we did this video. We survived our first video in 5 locations at once. I'm so proud of us.
Yes, we did it. If you're not following Molly, definitely follow her. She is brilliant. She is one of the most amazing humans I've ever met. She's very giving with her knowledge. You will learn so much. So you will learn how to show up by following Molly Mahoney. Plus, she's just a beautiful human. So
I love you. Likewise. And I'm going to make sure that we do show notes from today's show too, even though we're in this crazy time on a Saturday. So check out thepreparedperformer.com, or if you go to molly.live, there's our blog. We'll have a whole blog about this too. So we'll link to that video that you watched. We'll link to your LinkedIn profile. We'll link to, all the different people who are a part of this crazy journey. And Carla's new Facebook group, which is going to be awesome. Yes. And you'll find out about her awesome empowerment jewelry, like all of the goodness that we mentioned there will be available sometime probably next week. So
yes, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you again. Happy Saturday.
Thank you so much. And as always, it's just my absolute pleasure to be here to help you to unlock your inner awesome so that you truly can turn your message into a movement. We'll see you soon.